serving military personnel. Otherwise, how do they get their arms? Granted, too, that you can buy your arms from the open market as it is now. You've seen a lot of arms coming into the country illegally. So I cannot rule out the possibility of involvement of our security agencies. You recall what happened in the 80s over Anini. How many policemen were involved, including the DSP Yamu that was executed? So the society is dynamic, we continue. What I would rather advise is that our security, the leadership of our security force should look inwards, investigate what is going on, to see identify the bad eggs with the possibility of flushing them out.
While they're at that point where they will have to, as you advise, to investigate, but these kidnappings still go on. And we hardly hear about any resolutions that the authorities, say the security forces, come up with to try to check their members who maybe give out their arms to the kidnappers, or should I say, rent their arms to the kidnappers.
I think this a big catch now of the Evan case. I believe will reveal, like some of the headlines I was seeing, will reveal certain things. He should be able to, if he put under pressure, he should be able to name or tell the police how he has been getting his arms. And I think from there, police will take the lead.
But we have people who have told us, behind the scenes, even though they wouldn't say it openly, how some who were victims actually of kidnapping, they say they see guns of security personnel, they know the color of some of those and they see them in those colors. So there was one who told us, look, how could they have gone to report when the color of the gun he saw belonged to one of the security agencies? So those kind of cases, what do you do in that case?
What do you do? It's only investigation that can reveal such incidents. Because one, there's no possibility, there's this possibility that some military men or members of the security agency, let me not say, rent out their arms. We've had cases in Lagos here, you remember?
Yeah.
People rent out arms. So it's only when these suspects are arrested that they'll be in a position to say who are their collaborators.
Look, I'm sorry. Yeah. Lagos State, for instance, has this law that if a victim dies in the hands of the kidnapper and the kidnapper is caught, she's going to face the death penalty. Do you think it's enough deterrent to stop or discourage people from carrying out these acts?
I don't think it's enough deterrent because if you remember the firearms tribunal over the robbery, has robbery stopped? But what I think would be the solution to the problem is involvement of the people. Take Evans, for instance. Police is here to tell us how exactly. I think the PRO came up somehow giving information on how this success was achieved. Otherwise, this man is living with people, living in such mansions, and I can bet my life that a lot of people in that place, or some people, know that he doesn't have any ostensible means of livelihood.
But did they know that he was wanted by the police? Many didn't know.
Of course, police issued a statement that that is wanted. He was declared wanted.
Because there's so many people who have said they didn't know this.
He was declared wanted by the police. I'm aware of that.
So why did it take this long before he was? This almost like 3 years before he was caught. Why did it take so long to?
That's what I said.
He had a 30 million naira bounty on his head.
That's what I said initially. Non-cooperation from members of the public, lack of capacity on the part of our security agencies, and I believe with the update or upgrade of the equipment in the police, that assisted. So security is capital intensive. Our government must take proper care of funding of our security agencies, because if you don't do that, there won't be any meaningful development. People are afraid. People cannot invest in an unsecure environment. So we must take our security very seriously. We are talking of this kidnap, who have a lot of security challenges in the country. Look at the issue of Boko Haram. We are yet to contend with it. Forget all these issues of we have decimated Boko Haram, we have incapacitated them. They are still very potent. Look at what happened last week. They took on the state capital. And yet we are talking of having decimated Boko Haram.
Do you think
if you're still looking at Evans' case, if we, now that he's been caught, the way they operate, you have had opportunity to have intelligence reports about how these guys operate. Do you think that perhaps he has got smaller cells that have trickled down to the area where he lives, and by extension the whole country? Because this is such an organized crime for you to get $1 million in 4 tranches and living a life that is way, way beyond your means.
Of course, these people operate in cells. I'll give you a typical example. In my own case, what happened? There are 12 in number, and each time they operate, they are not less than 12. Within that cell, you have people who are technologically based. People who look at your iPad, look at your records of financial transactions. You have support staff, people who cook for them, because they don't have a permanent base. You also have the intelligence unit, people who give information that a vehicle is coming. You wait for so vehicle is coming. That's for the government, the Fulani government. But let me finish with the setup in that place. You have people who give them information. You have the regular operatives among them who are mostly marksmen. Because in my own case, remember that on that very day, one vehicle wanted to escape from my right behind me, and the driver was shot point blank on the head.
So it takes a trained person to be
It takes a trained person for that marksmanship.
That looks like military training.
Well, I wouldn't know. But
you should have an idea. Your former security.
What I just said, that for people to have that type of marksmanship, they must be trained. Whether they are military trained or trained on their own, I wouldn't know. But I know it takes, even myself, it takes, we'll go to the range. You see even officers
who miss the target.
Miss target. And so it takes, but we also have sharpshooters, people who can even lie down and shoot, stand and shoot, sit, and get their targets. Those are specifically trained people. So for a novice, it takes more than training. It takes more than training for you to aim somebody at the head and shoot and get it.
They also say it's not far from the truth, because one of the dailies today reported that the former military, I think he was dismissed. Okay, I understand we need to go to break, but we'll be back and get your concluding thoughts in just a moment. Join us again.